Mare of Steel by Iowaforever. Chapter 4. Rainbow Dash swallowed. Standing in front of the massive double doors that led to Princess Celestia's throne room was daunting. The Pegasus found herself pawing at the ground again. She looked down at the lead-lined box Twilight had placed the rock in, which was currently dangling by a rope from her neck like a necklace, then back up to the two guards standing outside. Be brave, Rainbow. Police lives are here at stake. She swallowed again and approached closer to the guards. Can I speak with Princess Celestia? She asked.
What's your problem?
Well, my friend said something about my eternal magic going straight, and I wanted to see if she could help me not explode.
Princess Celestia is busy with another pony at the moment. If you like, you may wait here until she is finished.
Okay, I've got nothing better to do. She turned and walked away. She found a nearby pillar and sat down against it, pulling the box off her neck as she did. She was tempted to open the box and look at the rock, but images of herself half dead drove those off those temptations. Instead, she began to push the buck around with her hooves, much in the same way a foal would play with a rock or a stick. She continued like this for 5 minutes before the sounds of footsteps distracted her. Approaching the doors was a white unicorn with a blonde mane and bow tie. He paid Rainbow Dash no mind as he marched up to the guards.
I must speak with Princess Celestia immediately. What's your problem? Don't give me that. I don't need to tell you what my issues are. Unless your problems of national importance, then I must ask you to wait. You would dare say that I, Prince Blueblood, must wait like some commoner. Yes. How dare you? I am a prince, and I will not allow myself to be subjugated to this manner. Unless the changelings are attacking, Discord broke loose, Nightmare Moon returned, or Cantalot is on fire, I cannot place you before anybody else. But there's no pony else here.
Yeah, there is, Rainbow Dash said. Prince Blueblood looked over to her.
Why are you here?
I'm trying to get Princess Celestia to prevent me from exploding.
Likely story. I bet you have some petty matter you wish to approach the princess about. I don't see why she lets freeloaders like you even come here.
Freeloader? Rainbow Dash stood up. You think I'm a freeloader? I work just as hard as any pony, probably more than you've ever worked in your life. I helped save the world twice, and I helped fight the changelings. You had no right to say I'm a freeloader. Blueblood looked at Rainbow before snoring.
Please, don't try to intimidate me with your speeches. I've had plenty of times when ponies claim to be superior to me because they felt like they accomplished more.
You want intimidation? I'll show you intimidation! Rainbow Dash took a step towards Blueblood and raised her right hoof. She was interrupted by the sounds of the doors opening.
Princess Celestia will see you now,
another guard said. Rainbow Dash dropped back down on all hooves and grabbed the box containing the rock. She shot one last glare at Blueblood and entered. The massive double doors closing behind her. I see my nephew has managed to antagonize you significantly, Rainbow Dash. Rainbow turned towards Princess Celestia, the snow-white alicorn sitting calmly on her throne. Is he always like that? He was much more respectful when he was younger. I'm not entirely sure what happened. The ruler of Equestria smiled. Now, let's address the question of why you are here. Oh, right. Rainbow Dash stepped forward. I think something's wrong with me. Oh? Yeah. A couple days ago, a rock showed up at my house, and when I touched it, it got me sick, and Twilight thinks he's done something funny with my eternal magic or something like that. Oh, and I accidentally destroyed one of Applejack's trees and looked through her closed saddlebag. Is that the problem? Yes! I don't want to explode! I'll hurt everybody in Ponyville if that happened! I'm sure that won't happen. Do you still have the rock to cause this? Yeah. Twilight gave it to me so I could show you. Rainbow Dash placed the box on the ground and opened it. The rock was still glowing a bright green, even as the yellow aura of Celestia's magic enveloped it. The princess brought the rock closer and inspected it. Dear me, the princess said, I haven't seen anything like this since... Since when? Princess Celestia placed the rock back in its box and looked at Rainbow Dash. If you will permit me, I would like to see if this rock has had any effect on you that isn't visible in either strength or speed. Okay. Celestia's horn glowed with magic, and Rainbow Dash was wrapped in a soft yellow glow. Celestia's face remained stony, and Rainbow was unable to detect any signs of confusion or interest. After a minute, the glow ceased. Well, that makes sense. What does? Your eternal magic is fine. Actually, it seems that quite a bit of it has been repressed. Repressed? Tell me, Rainbow Dash, what is your earliest memory? Rainbow looked at the floor for a moment, trying to think of any memories. Well, sometimes I remember when I was a foal, standing by a road and fixing my parents' fix-a cart. But other than that, I can't remember much. Celestia looked at her with a mix of shock and mild excitement. It was you, after all these years. The roller equestrian said, What was me? What did I do? Not so much as what you did as what happened to you, Rainbow Dash. What I'm about to tell you may seem crazy, but you must believe that what I'm about to say. Okay. Good, Rainbow Dash. Princess's mouth twitched, as if she was struggling for the right words. You are not a native-born Equestrian. Rainbow Dash raised one eyebrow in confusion. Okay, I know I was adopted, but what am I then? Nepalese? Germain? South Arabian? Actually, Rainbow Dash, you are a Kryptonian. Rainbow Dash shook her head slightly, her confusion building. A Krypto who's what now? A Kryptonian. I might not have had the best grades in geography, but I'm pretty sure there's no Kryptonia anywhere in the world. Of course not. Krypton is a planet on the very tip of this arm of the galaxy. By my reckoning, astronomers still haven't found its exact location. Wait, planet? Krypton is another planet? Yes. Then, if Krypton's another planet, does that make me some kind of alien? Yes, if you want to see it that way. Your increase in strength and other senses is merely your body adjusting to a change brought upon by that rock. Rainbow Dash looked down on the floor. Me, an alien? She shook her head and looked up at Princess Celestia. I don't believe you. I can't believe you, Rainbow Dash. I'm not an alien. I've been a Pegasus my entire life. I got the same number of limbs and eyes as every other Pegasi in the world. Unless I'm going to grow more or something. I'm not going to, right? Rainbow Dash, I need you to calm down. I don't want to grow anything! Will I get more legs, or an extra pair of wings, or 2 heads? I don't want to have to share my body with a copy of me. Rainbow Dash! The force of Celestia's shout was enough to rock Rainbow Dash off her horse. I know you are disturbed by this change of events, but remember, I am still the most powerful pony in Equestria, and if you do not calm down, I will force you to do so. Rainbow Dash quickly got back to her horse. Her head hung. All my life I've been told I was like a pony, like every pony else. What will my friends think? I'm sure they'll see you as... No, they won't. If I tell them I'm some alien, they'll all start treating me funny. They'll try to act sincere, but they'll just throw me out and shun me. Like we all do with Sakura. Ponies are naturally scared of things they don't understand. They won't understand this. They'll think I'm either crazy or some kind of freak. It was because you think they'll turn on you for being different. There's nothing wrong with... That's easy for you to say! Rainbow Dash shouted, pointing her hoof at Celestia. You're a goddess! You've always been different than us. You've had centuries to get used to ponies fearing and respecting you. Me? I'm a normal pony, and I want to be a normal pony. Not some alien, not some fear thing, just a pony. I don't want to be a Kryptonian. I want to be Rainbow Dash! In a fit of rage, Rainbow Dash slammed her forehoofs on the floor cracking and buckling of her strike. She looked up at Princess Celestia, Rainbow's glare rivaling Firesight's stare and intensity. Rainbow Dash, I know you are stressed, but lashing out in anger is not going to solve anything. Rainbow Dash's breathing came down in ragged snorts as the Pegasus struggled with her rage. Eventually, something broke inside her, and her breath became choppy as it collapsed, tears streaming down her face and spilling onto the cracks on the floor. Rainbow Dash, Princess Celestia said, stepping forward. Rainbow Dash did not look at her. Instead, grabbing the box and rushing out of the room, small teardrops trailing behind her. Once she returned home, Rainbow Dash had collapsed on her bed and cried for an hour. The only thing she could feel was anger toward her parents for never bothering to tell her where she came from, towards Princess Celestia for tearing her entire past to shreds, towards herself for making a scene at the palace, and towards her biological parents for abandoning her with no knowledge of who or what she was. She wanted to hurt something, release all her pent-up anger, but knowing what she was now much stronger than normal meant it would only do more harm than good. My whole life, my parents hid this from me. Why? Were they scared? Did I threaten them? Why do I remember anything before they found me? Rainbow Dash snapped and wiped away some of her tears. I need answers, and I know just who to ask. Um, guys, is it wrong I would rather have had this story than Man of Steel? Chapter 5. The Wonderbolt's training facility was on the far end of Cloudsdale, away from the housing and industrial quarters. The main facility was an indoor area, complete with barracks, so that the Wonderbolts could train with more or less undisturbed. There was a second outdoor facility right next to the main building, but due to the numerous hopefuls and overeager fans that hung out in the area, the flying team only used it for special events. Rainbow Dash landed outside the main facility, quickly checking to make sure no guards got the wrong idea and attacked her. Once he was certain no pony had thought she was an intruder, she approached the entrance to the building and pushed the door open. Inside, she could only see a few ponies, and most of them paid her little mind at first. She was certain that no ponies had thought she was an intruder. She approached the entrance to the building and pushed the door open. Inside, she could only see a few ponies. Most of them paid her little mind at first. Rainbow Dash? Rainbow turned to see Spitfire, Captain and Wonderbolt, standing behind her. What are you doing here? Sorry, Spitfire, but I need to see Firefly. She's a little busy right now. Can you come back later? No, I really need to see Firefly. Please, Spitfire. It's really important. Spitfire regarded Rainbow Dash for a moment, then sighed. I suppose I still owe you for saving those ponies from the statue at the gala. Okay, Firefly's on the track with Rapid Fire. Just don't tell any pony you work here, okay? Okay. Rainbow Dash gave a nod of thanks and made her way towards the track. Again, the Pegasi present did not pay her much attention, and even some waved to her as they passed. Rainbow Dash would have waved back, but she was focused on what lay ahead of her. Nearly, the sound of Firefly shouting, Rapid Fire! I've told you 100 times you gotta stop cutting your corners so close! The source of the voice was a pink Pegasus mare with a light gray-blue mane. She was standing with her back to Rainbow Dash, all of her focus placed on the Wonderbolt standing in front of her. I've tried, but it cuts back on my speed. You're always preaching about speed, Rapid Fire said. Oh, of course. I can tell you about speed when you're attracted for turning too sharp a turn and slamming into a wall. Get back out there and watch your turns, or I swear to Celestia, I will buck you to the nearest pillar. Yes, ma'am! Rapid Fire turned and took off down the track. Now Firefly was no longer occupied. Rainbow Dash stepped forward. Mom? Firefly turned, her face showing a mixture of surprise and joy. Rainbow? Firefly laughed, raced towards her, and hugged Rainbow Dash. Oh, it's so good to see you. Good to see you too, Mom. Rainbow Dash said, returning the hug. I've been meaning to visit, but I never get the chance. I swear, if it wasn't for me, these ponies couldn't do their routines if you gave them cheat seats. Firefly laughed again, before dropping down to all fours. How are things in Ponyville? Pretty good. Got myself a pet Taurus. Really? I always thought Taurus were cool. They're not the same thing. That doesn't matter. Anything else? Yeah. Rainbow Dash looked away, shuffled her hose a bit. Rainbow, something's wrong, isn't it? Did you get fired from your weather job? No, of course not. Are you getting married? No, it's just... Rainbow Dash shuffled some more, before deciding to tell Firefly everything. Why didn't you tell me where I came from? All the joy rushed from Firefly's face. The older mare staggered back as if Rainbow had just disowned her. I wanted to. I really did. But your father and I, we were scared. Scared? Scared of what I was? Scared that your alien daughter might hurt you? No. We thought the guards would find you and take you away from us. You were so young. We didn't want to hurt you like that. Firefly sat on the ground. What did you find out? A few days ago, this rock showed up at my room, and when I touched it, I got sick. Next few days were fine, except I started doing things. Things I'd never done before. Like? I splintered a tree with a kick, flew from my house to Ponyville in another 30 seconds without feeling stress, and I looked clear through the pony saddlebags. My friend said it was my magic overloading, but Princess Celestia said I was Kryptonian. Whatever that means. Now it was Rainbow's turn to sit. I got mad. I said a few things I shouldn't have. I didn't want to be some alien monster. You're not a monster, Rainbow Dash. You're still a pony, even if you weren't born on this planet. But what if I... Rainbow Dash, I've raised you since you were a little filly, and never once was there anything that told me you were dangerous. And if your definition of monster is simply big scary thing that doesn't look like a pony, not only do you not fit that description, but you need to broaden your views of the world. Ravendash was silent for a moment. How did you find me? Well, first off, your father was a lousy driver. Um, guys, I just want to point out that if this starts acting anything like Superman the first movie, I want to apologize for any amount of fanboy squeeing I may do, because Superman the movie is quite frankly my favorite superhero movie of all time, outclassing even the Avengers. So forgive me if I squeal like a little schoolgirl for a little bit. Firefly looked up at the sky, then back down at the cart. The cart remains of the left wheels were strewn across the road. Various foodstuffs inside the cart had spilled on the floor and slid to one side. Beneath the cart, struggling to get the spare wheel unstuck, was her husband, Thunderhead, a gray-coated Pegasus who was nowhere near as good at repairs as he liked to say he was. This is all your fault, you know, she said.
Yes, you've reminded me for the past 5 minutes that I am well aware of that it was, in fact, my fault.
Thunderhead yanked the wheel out from under the cart and crawled back out. Well, at least you acknowledge it.
Sir, you do know it's as much as your fault as it was mine.
Was not.
Says the mayor who was tickling my flanks.
All right. Yeah, I guess I did do that. Firefly buzzed and looked away.
Hey, it wasn't that bad until we crashed.
Thunderhead pulled a jack from the cart and began to set it up beneath the cart.
Since it was partially your fault, you mind helping me out here?
Sure. Firefly tried over to her husband. What do you need me to do?
I want you to hold on to that wheel and make sure to slip it on as soon as I get the axle off.
It was interrupted by a large explosion in the field next to them. The ground shook and a massive cloud of dust flew up overhead, obscuring any visibility. Firefly yelped in fright and grabbed onto Thunderhead. Both of them ducked in case there was any falling debris. What was that? Firefly asked. She realized her husband and looked around, searching for any signs of danger. There was still plenty of dust in the air, but she could see the faint outline of something half buried into the ground. Should we go have a look?
Are you crazy? Why would some monster try to come to kill us?
I think it would have killed us by now. Besides, what if it's a pony? Maybe those unicorns at Camelot tried to send some pony into space and their castle crashed.
You read too much science fiction.
Oh, and you don't? Firefly swatted Thunderhead with her tail and trotted towards the field. Thunderhead following soon after. As she neared the object, they were able to get a clear look at it. It was large, about the size of two ponies, and cylindrical in shape. Due to dirt and a fair amount of soot, it was hard to tell what color the thing was, and the size looked at some point it had taken a heavy mallet to it. Crawling away from the wreckage, dazed but otherwise unhurt, was a filly. Its coat was light blue, and its little tuft of hair that comprised its own mane was a wide spectrum of colors. Firefly stopped when the filly looked towards her, his large magenta eyes staring at the older mare in awe. He then proceeded to stick his arms out, and it was cute, and God, I love that scene. Thunder, it's a filly. Firefly took a step towards the foal. Can we keep her?
Now I know you're crazy. Thunderhead said, you want to adopt some pony that fell out of the sky and nearly killed us?
Look at her. It's only a baby. It's not like he was trying to kill us. Firefly took another step towards the filly. The filly did not run, but instead stood rigid and focused on Firefly.
Firefly, stop this. Do you have any idea what you're doing?
Thunder, she's harmless, and I think she's scared. Firefly was now only a few feet away from the filly, when it had not moved from her spot. Hey, don't be scared. I want to help you, Firefly said, trying to calm the foal. The filly smiled and ran over to her, her tiny wings buzzing in happiness. Once the smaller pony reached Firefly, the older mare gently scooped her up in her hose and nestled her. See?
Well?
Thunder, you and I always wanted to have kids. And since, well, I can't.
Firefly, please don't bring that up.
No, it's okay. Maybe this is our chance to have a foal of our own. Firefly felt something tugging at her neck and noticed the filly had wrapped her forelegs around her and attempted a hug. Please, or us?
Alright. So you can come with us.
Thank you, Thunder. Firefly looked at Philly. Would you like that? Do you want me to be your mommy? And Philly smiled and nodded, causing Firefly to laugh and place the phone on her back.
How are we going to explain this, though? We can't just say that she fell out of the sky in a spaceship.
Well, you could always say that she's a child of your cousin's and you're looking after her.
What? It worked in the Superman movie.
That. Or we could say, or you guys could just wait until a really bad snowstorm comes out and you can say you had her that way. I have a friend who works in the Royal Archives. She can get us some birth certificates and adoption papers to fill out. They walked back to the cart, the little filly smiling all the way. What should we name her?
You really want to do that now?
Well, why not? Better now than when we start explaining to ponies how we got a child.
Okay. Any ideas?
Well, something with rainbows up, obviously. Firefly pointed to the small bits of rainbow fur on the filly.
I'll think of something. Meanwhile, I've got to get this cart fixed.
Thunderhead picked up the spare wheel and moved toward the cart.
Here, hold on to the wheel so I can get this level.
Okay. Before taking the wheel, Firefly turned and picked the foal off her back and set her down on the ground. How much longer?
Not much. Next time we gotta get a ladder cart. This one takes too long to...
There was a creak before the jack slid down from beneath the cart, threatening to drop the cart in Thunderhead's back. He yelled in surprise and jumped back, almost knocking Firefly over in the process. Thunder! Are you right?
Yeah, I'm fine. The super jack slipped, but I think I'm fine.
Where's the foal? The two ponies looked around, searching in vain for the filly.
She must have run off.
Oh dear. What if she gets cut by a manticore or... Firefly stopped talking when she looked at the cart. The filly was standing underneath it, her little legs pushing up against the headbed of the cart. What was more surprising was showing no sign of strain, and still smiling just as before. You know, most superheroes demonstrate their superhero-ness by first, saving lives or doing the heroic thing by stopping a mugging. Superman had his first heroic moment from when he was born, by saving his daddy. And looking all kinds of adorable. Firefly had heard of Pegasus foals having abnormal bouts of strength, but this was unheard of.
That's kind of cool.
Thunderhead said after a long pause. Yeah. It's not a bad time to say I think Rainbow Dash is a good name.
No, I don't think it's a bad time.
And that's how we find you. So, I saved Dad's life when I was a baby, more or less. Your strength mellowed out after a bit after that, so you never did anything like that again. But that spaceship thingy I was in, what happened to that? Well, lucky for you, there was a storm scheduled for the afternoon. Say what you will about your father's driving skills, he was very good at creating lightning strikes. That's why I married him in the first place. He could get very creative with bursts of energy. Rainbow Dash shuddered at an unpleasant image that came into her thoughts. But I mean, you still could have told me about what I was. You were young, and we didn't want you to feel like you were different than other ponies. Like how I feel now. I know this is a lot to take in, but it's nothing to be afraid of. You have an amazing gift, Rainbow, and it would be a shame if you kept it away from every pony else. If there is one thing I do know, son, is that you are here for a reason. But what if they don't like this? What if they shun me because I'm something I don't like? I don't want to deal with that. I don't want this gift. I just want to be a normal pony. Rainbow Dash, you are anything but a normal pony. Even before you found out about this, you were never just a normal pony. Remember what your dad said to you the day before you got your kitty mark? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Rainbow Dash was sitting outside her house, watching the Pegasi return from their various jobs. While she watched, she picked up little pieces of cloud and swatted them around with her hose in an attempt to elevate the situation.
Rainbow Dash?
Rainbow turned and saw her father standing behind her.
Why are you sitting out here by yourself?
Hey, Dad, Rainbow Dash said. I had a bad day at Flank Kit today.
Oh?
The older Pegasus sat down next to the star.
Care to tell me about it?
Do I have to?
The only way it's going to get better is if you talk to someone about it. What's wrong?
Rainbow Dash looked away, briefly swatting at a few stray bits of cloud. Well, you see, there was this football game, and Rainbow Dash was running past a train at the same speed, and Lois Lane was watching from the. Ow! Well, those bullies at fight camp were really mean today. Except to that one filly, Fluttershy. I wanted to use something. Wanted to make them less mean, but I couldn't.
Like them less mean. How could you do that?
I don't know. Maybe beat them up or something?
It's only thinking on their level, Dash. They want you to do that. If you only do it, it only puts you one step closer to being just like them. You want to be like that? Being mean to ponies and hurting others?
No. I don't want to hurt any pony. But all these things they said, it made me feel bad. Especially for Fluttershy. They said we weren't anything special. That we were terrible flyers.
You're an amazing flyer, Rainbow Dash. And don't let any pony tell you otherwise. You are special. Heck, you're probably more special than you realize.
But all the adults I've met said that everyone's special.
That's true. But you're not just any pony.
Thunderhead turned Rainbow Dash toward him.
One day, you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to decide what kind of mare you want to grow up to be. Whoever that mare is, good character or bad, she's going to change the world.
Me? I'm going to change the world?
Of course you will.
You say one word about your opinions about the Man of Steel and Jonathan Kent on there, and Trixie will gut you like a fish. Shutting up! Do you think he was trying to tell me the truth back then? Maybe. I lived with him for 28 years. I never figured out most of what he did. Firefly sighed and said to her persistent, I don't think the other ponies will shun you. Sure, they may be scared just because you're a little different. But have more faith in them and they will come around. I guess. There was a pause before Firefly stood up. If you're still having doubts, there's something I want to give you. Firefly turned it over to a nearby wall, where a pair of saddlebags was waiting. She opened the nearest bag and pulled out an object wrapped with a blue cloth. Your father found this in the wreckage of the ship you landed in. She wanted me to give it to you if you ever found out who you were. She placed the object before Rainbow Dash and pulled back the cloth. It was a green crystal, only about 5 or 6 inches long. It was more like a shard of glass than a gem, except it lacked the small air bubbles usually found in glass. Like the rock, it glowed green with some kind of energy. But Rainbow Dash felt more at ease with this energy than she ever did with the rock. What is it? I'm not sure. I haven't really thought about finding out. But every time I've touched it, I've heard voices. Like there's some pony inside wanting to be released. Rainbow Dash picked up the crystal in her hose, searching of any indication of what it was. What am I supposed to do with it? That's for you to figure out. I've never gotten to do anything, but maybe you can. Rainbow Dash smiled a little and stood up. Thanks for the talk, Mom. I really needed it. You're welcome, Rainbow. Rainbow Dash tucked the crystal behind her wing and prepared to leave. I think I need some time to clear my head. Another pony playdate had arrived. Yet there was still sort one pony. Maybe she got sick again and couldn't come, Fluttershy said. No, I don't think that's it, Twilight said. She did seem kind of distraught after she met with the princess.
What? Why would Rainbow go see the princess?
Well, I had a theory that Rainbow Dash's eternal magic was flowing over. It could have killed her. So I told her Princess Celestia might be able to help.
Dudley?
I don't know. But I really shouldn't pry.
The conversation was interrupted by a buzzing sound. The group looked and saw Tank flying towards them, a small scroll in his mouth. The torch landed in front of them and spat out the scroll, which Twilight then picked up with her magic and opened.
Hey guys! Sorry I couldn't make it to the pony play date, but the last train for Seattle leaves early. I wanted to make it on time. I suppose I should have said that earlier. Well, I'm leaving Ponyville for a while. I got a lot on my mind right now, and I need to be clear in my head. Don't worry, I'm coming back. Someday. There should be an address here, so if you want to stay in touch, you can send letters to me. I'm not the best at responding, though, so you'll have to wait a few days. Oh, and if you can make sure no pony breaks into my house while I'm gone, that would be great. Oh, if Fluttershy can take care of Tank, that would be great too. I'll miss you guys. Rainbow Dash. Twilight sent a note aside and looked at her friends. Do you think there was anything we could have done to help her? Sounds like she's trying to figure it out for herself. Don't worry about it, Twilight. Rainbow's a strong pony, and I'm sure she'll come by because it's Raspberry. Twilight nodded and looked back at the note. I hope you're right, Applejack. I really do. Wait. Iowaforever, you kind of forgot two things. One, you forgot the really cool, epic, sweeping Rainbow Dash standing with her mother in the middle of a field saying how she has to leave, and the camera pulling back with an epic spin pan as they look at the two characters sitting there right in the middle of the field as the music swelling up plays, designating how great a life journey Clark Kent's about to undertake. Sorry, I really love that moment. And two, you left out my favorite Jonathan Kent death sequence ever. Oh, wait. We can kind of figure out what happened to him. Yeah, but seeing Rainbow Dash standing there, looking at the grave and saying all those things I could do, all those powers that I couldn't save him, it really, really is important to the character. It really speaks to the character. It's kind of another reason why I love Superman the movie so much.